Back to Dick Enberg in Los Angeles and the game.
It's sunny and near 80 degrees. This is the historic Coliseum in Los Angeles, California. A sellout of over 90,000 fans to see the final piece of this weekend's playoff puzzle. Will it be the Raiders or the Bengals to advance to the Super Bowl semifinals? Welcome to Los Angeles. Dick Enberg with Bill Walsh as the Raiders, a touchdown favorite, meet the Bengals, the champions of the Central Division. Now, the history of this weekend shows home teams all won by sizable margins, 10 points or more. We know it'll be the Giants in San Francisco, and Buffalo awaits the winner of this one today. And Sam Weish is working with less cards than is his opponent, Art Shell. And no better is that symbolized by Kirk Scrafford, number 76. He is a rookie free agent playing his first game as a starter for the Cincinnati Bengals. We talked to him yesterday, wide-eyed, nervous. He replaces all-pro Anthony Munoz at tackle in a banged-up offensive line. And for most of this day, he'll play against Greg Townsend, number 93, the experienced, tough sack master of the Raiders on his way to the Pro Bowl. And that is one of the many reasons why the Raiders are favored, and the Bengals will have to come up with some of Weich's magic in order to pull off an upset today. The Bengals won the toss, will receive. Jeff Jaeger to kick it off. Stanford Jennings, number 36, and 42, Eric Ball are deep for Cincinnati. We're underway on an 80-degree clear sky day in Los Angeles, and Jaeger booms it to Ball, and the touchback at the 20. Norman Boomer Esiason, the quarterback of the Bengals. Their hopes for an upset win rest on his left arm. There's Scrafford and Moyer in the rebuilt offensive line. Kozerski, he's banged up at center. Jeton and Walter on the right side. The backfield, Ickey Woods will start today. McGee and Eddie Brown, two excellent wide receivers. Jim Riggs, the tight end, along with Rodney Holman, with using only one back to start. And that sugar huddle or no huddle employed by the Bengals.
Look for a pass on the first play of the game.
And that's what Greg Townsend was looking for as he beats Scrafford and registers the sack.
Sam Weish wanted to start the game, open it right up, and he just couldn't get the ball off. It's that simple. Now you'll see the offensive tackle here in the pass rush that's going to get there, and this is the most difficult job for a young guy in his first play. He opens up too wide and leaves that hole inside. But again, Howie Long, as you'd expect, starts it all off.
A loss of 13 on the first play, and here's Ickey Woods slamming across the 15 for short yardage, smothered by Tom Benson and company. Eddie Anderson up from safety to get his shoulder on the ball carrier. For the Raiders, that front four may be as good as any in the NFL, and it means they don't have to use a lot of linebacker blitzes because Long, Golick, Davis, and Townsend apply so much pressure themselves. It's Robinson, Ellison, and Benson, the backers. McDaniel, underrated, outstanding at one corner. Washington has a hamstring at the other. Harden and Anderson, two tough safeties. The Bengals feel if they can attack anywhere, it's at those two safeties who react to the run so quickly. Flag down on 3rd and 14.
Well, this is just what Sam Weish didn't want. The
73 offense. Third down. Ken Moyer moved prematurely.
Now, Moyer is another free agent at left guard who has played every position, but not, you see him lift his hand, not many of those positions well. He's a good journeyman, free agent lineman, but now he's up against, as Dick has just mentioned, four of the best defensive linemen in the game. Sam didn't want this. He didn't want to get backed up, but didn't want to get in a position where those Raiders could tee off.
Not many good plays in this situation as Boomer throwing from his 3-yard line. Down he goes as Howie Long smothers him at the 2. The veteran Long with 6 sacks on the year, but he creates so much more for his teammates.
Here's Long, and you'll see that push right up inside. But one of the problems, Boomer waited way too long to throw the ball. He's got decent protection at this point. Now, when he pulls up to make Davis miss, he gets caught by Long. Big problem. All 4 defensive linemen are getting pushed. Also, Boomer is going to have to get rid of the ball sooner.
Tim Brown expects to get the ball in Bengal territory. He's inside the 45 as Lee Johnson left foots it out of there. Brown has admitted having trouble fielding the left-footed punt and watches it go out of bounds at the 45 in Bengal territory. For Los Angeles, after the 43-yard punt by Johnson, under the circumstances, a good kick. It's Graves, Pro Bowlers Wisniewski and Mosbar in the middle with Montoya, the ex-Bengal. He's an alternate for the Pro Bowl and right at tackle. Schroeder, the starting quarterback. Marcus Allen has started every game this year. We'll see Bo Jackson early. Steve Smith, the blocking fullback. Galt and Fernandez with Horton, the tight end. When they go to the Eagle, Mike Dial comes in as the second tight end. He was just activated this week, missed the second half of the year with a hamstring. From the 45 in Cincinnati territory, Schroeder. Play action on first play. Plenty of time, wide open but incomplete. Mervin Fernandez all alone, and Schroeder overshot him.
Good call on the first play. The scary thing for the Bengals was Schroeder had all day. Fernandez went from the right side of the field all the way to the left side of the field, 20 yards deep. It had to take him 4 or 5 seconds to get there, and Schroeder still had the time to throw it. The wind has just come up in the last 30 minutes, and the wind actually carried that ball out of Fernandez's reach.
Gusting 15 to 20 miles an hour from the north-northwest. On 2nd and 10, the give is to the fullback, Steve Smith, former Penn State star, bowls to the 40, and the ball is twisted away after the whistle. Carl Zander led the defensive charge, and Smith was juggling the ball, trying to maintain the grasp.
The Raider offensive line gets Smith the first 4 yards. You see, he's not touched until he makes 4 yards. Now he starts to lose it, and the whistle blows just about the time he loses it. One of the problems, right, it seems that the whistle is blowing right at this point, but Smith got 4 yards before he was touched, and he ran off tackle.
3 wide receivers. Weston Brown joins Galt and Fernandez. Schroeder changing the play with Marcus Allen behind him. It's Marcus off tackle, and he fights for the extra yardage and will be very close to the first down. The Bengals had him stopped 2 yards shy, but Allen, typical of his great play throughout his now 9 years with the Raiders, got extra yardage. Crumry was there to make the stop. It's short by inches. And the fans here in Los Angeles want Shell to go for it.
You'd have to think he'll go for it here, Dick, because he's in sort of an odd position. Punting the ball wouldn't be that would be a tough job to punt the ball inside the 10 from here, and the field goal's too long. So you have to assume he's going for it.
And they have a much bigger offensive line than the Bengals throw up in support defensively. It's a light, aggressive, quick Cincinnati defense. Allen, first down as he picks up 2 to the 33.
Kevin Walker blitzed, had a great shot at Allen. Allen has an instinct to just slide laterally and make people cleanly miss him because he was duck soup back there. He was going to get stopped. Kevin Walker was teeing off on him, and he just slid by him beautifully. Watch, right at the end of this, Allen is in trouble. Watch Walker come right through and just miss. And Allen has that instinct of seeing that with all that experience and just veering slightly.
Marcus Allen, number 8 all-time NFL. He has 93 touchdowns. Raiders' first possession. A first down at the 33. Marcus knifing inside the 30. A gain of about 4. Carl Zander, the tackler.
Well, typically for the Bengals, unfortunately, they rank 25th in defense this year. One of their problems is stopping the 3 and 4 and 5 yard gain. They just can't meet blockers well enough to stuff plays. So they're always coming off a block to make a tackle, and meanwhile giving up the first 4 and 5 yards.
You saw the defensive coordinator, former star Lion defensive back Dick LeBeau on the sidelines. On second down, Marcus goes the other way. And a good play made by David Grant from West Virginia, as some of his teammates mentioned to us this week. Boy, Grant suddenly has come alive. The last 6-7 games he has played very big.
Well, Grant and McClendon, the two defensive ends, are good, solid, legitimate NFL players. And Crumry, as you know, Dick, has been a great one prior to that breaking of his leg in Super Bowl 23. But the three of them play well, but they don't play so big that they can stuff plays. They can get off blocks, but they can't dominate and stuff plays as that Raider defensive line can do.
Bengals look pass on 3rd down and a long 3. But it's on the ground to Marcus. Tripped up, and he's going to be a little short of the 1st down. Skip McClendon down low, the 6'7", 287-pound tackle. Art Shell has another 4th down decision.
He can go for it. He can make it, because the Bengals have not stopped the play at the line of scrimmage yet. They have not stuffed a ball carrier, so they can make it if they choose.
Sam White brings in 4 new defenders, and Schroeder looks at 4th and 1. This a little longer than the 4th and inches earlier on this drive. Smith and Marcus behind Schroeder. Schroeder, play action. Incomplete. Solomon Wilcox with a fine play, number 41, diving in front of Ethan Horton, and the Bengals celebrate as they hold.
Raiders were a little bit greedy, a play fake to the inside. Not too many people full, but you see the coverage is right on top of the play.
So the Raiders do not take the 41-yard field goal shot. It's still scoreless.
160 horses. That's what Chevy S10 packs into the biggest V6 engine ever put in a compact pickup. Enough power to help switch more truck owners to Chevy last year than to any other truck. The move to Chevy is becoming a stampede. More people are winning with the heartbeat of America. Now it's easy to win with the heartbeat.
Diet Coke presents Crack the Code for Real Refreshment.
January, we got a call from distraught store owners.
They just came in and bought out all of our Diet Coke.
Relax, sir. They're just trying to crack the code for real refreshment.
Crack the code?
Game, ma'am. You get these game pieces with specially marked packages of Diet Coke. Then crack the code during the Super Bowl. There's a million prizes, even...
Million?
How'd you guess?
Crack the Code for Real Refreshment. Diet Coke. With 100% NutraSweet.
If you have an insurance repair on your home and you have Allstate, it's in our hands. We know some very reliable contractors. It's our business too. So if you choose a contractor we recommend, we guarantee the workmanship of their repairs for 1 year. That's why you're in good hands with Allstate. A member of the Sears Financial Network.
Welcome back to Los Angeles. The Bengals celebrate as they hold the Raiders, and it is a celebration in the city of Angels. This kind of crowd finally perhaps adopting the Raiders as their own.
Well, the Rams left here because of attendance. The Raiders have struggled with it, but they're really buying this team. Did you notice in the parking lot, all the Raider outfits, that black, that silver, 90,000 people. Well, it's unbelievable, and what a great thing for the city of Los Angeles.
Esiason having trouble initially, and then throws the long out for really no gain as it's completed on the far sidelines to Tim McGee. Bad snap, or at least a bad catch by Esiason. Oh, bad snap.
Oh, gee.
He's a hockey fan. That was a good save for the Boomer.
Well, that was all Bob Doley. He intimidated Kozerski, and Esiason getting back on that 1st down. It shows a real concern on the part of the Bengals just to be able to get the ball off with that Raider pass rush.
Eddie Brown in motion. And it's James Brooks playing with that dislocated left thumb, who's across the 25 to the 26, and that's a story in itself. You talk about tough. James Brooks last week Came up, there it is, the dislocated left thumb, went into the locker room, taped it up, and said, I was coming back to play when the doctors interrupted and said, you cannot play. You're out. Had surgery right after the game. There is the bandage that protects that left thumb. And he said, I'm not about to sit this one out. I can play. I can catch the ball. I'll block. I'll take my chances.
He's a real campaigner. Even in his practice yesterday, he was just nonchalant about the whole thing.
Gained over 1,000 yards this year. He felt he should go to the Pro Bowl, not Bo Jackson. On 3rd down and 7. Underneath to Ickey Woods, short of a first down. At the 31-yard line, he's shy a couple of a first down.
Well, Tex Sprafford did his job that time. He did a fine job of pass protecting from the left tackle spot, and he stayed with his man. I think he learned something on the first play. He's got an excellent guy in front of him, but he used his feet. He does have quick feet, but he's only 257 pounds. And that time, Scott Davis at about 280 thought he could just steamroll him.
Lee Johnson to punt. Tim Brown at the other end. A dying spiral at the 22. 30. Tripped up at the 39-yard line by Carl Zander. Now the Raiders not in as good a position as their previous possession. No score in the first.
At the 39-yard line, 1st and 10 Raiders.
Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its real draft taste, the world is a very cool place. All my dreams will go fast.
Every day that goes by, one of the highest mileage, lowest price, and the best-selling of all V6 coupes is Chevy Beretta. Day by day, more people are winning with.
The heartbeat of America.
And now it's easy to win with a heartbeat.
Because there's a man planning his retirement. Because there's a family hoping to send their kids to college. Because every investor is different, with dreams all their own, Dean Witter measures success one investor at a time.
Got a painful cold? Alka-Seltzer Plus relieves painful cold symptoms some others miss.
Everything feels better, better, better.
Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine. Relief for your painful cold.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Diet Coke, real refreshment just for the taste of it. By Allstate, for home, auto, life, and business insurance, you're in good hands with Allstate. By the Upjohn Company, if you're concerned about hair loss, see your doctor. And by Miller Genuine Draft, cold filtered for real draft taste. So get out of the old, get into the cold.
Biggest crowd of the NFL year here at the Coliseum for this playoff that features the Central Division champion Bengals and the champions of the West, the LA Raiders. The New York Giants beat the Bears 31-3 earlier today to advance to their semifinal meeting with the 49ers next Sunday. The winner of this game goes on to Buffalo next Sunday.
Bo Jackson
incomplete as Schroeder fires to Willie Gauld, and he is toppled by Lewis Billups.
Bo Jackson lined it up as a wingback that time and released straight down the field. I believe the thought was that the Bengals would be so preoccupied that they could throw just a little quick pass. Here will be Bo, and he'll release straight down the field. Then they want to throw a quick hitch pass, but it's so tightly covered, there just isn't anything there. Very well done, and thrown late also. Now, Schroeder's had much improvement.
But he starts slowly today, 0 for 3, as he did against the Chargers in the season finale. Here's Bo's first carry. He fumbles, and the Bengals recover. Number 27, Barney Bussey, falls on the loose ball as Jackson coughs it up.
This is what the Bengals had hoped for, and anyone that favors the Bengals or following them know they needed these kinds of things to happen. And thus far, though, they're going to have to find a way to move the ball because they've gotten 0. They really haven't blocked anybody yet.
Oh, now they're saying that he was down by contact. The whistle has blown, and he is clearly had fumbled the ball.
The ball is out. It couldn't have blown. the whistle could not have blown that quickly. There's not a chance of that.
Well, you know, Sam White said there's only one referee that worried me this season long, and I wasn't happy with it. He said, you know, it's interesting. He's the man that was assigned.
There's not a chance that whistle had blown.
Clearly a fumble, and they won't review it because the whistle had blown. So what a break for the Raiders. Horton catches the pass. Instead of the Bengals getting the ball on a bad official's call, a clear fumble that was whistled dead before the play had ended. How could the whistle have blown?
There isn't a chance. Not a chance the whistle blew. The ball's in the air, and he's not even starting down. No one blows a whistle that quickly. Even the high school, the Pop Warner official doesn't do that.
Fans up in Seattle say, boy, the Raiders have had good officials luck all season long. There was a critical call up there in the Kingdom that may have cost the Seahawks a game. Those fans will well remember. It's first down now at the Cincinnati 47. Play action. Schroeder hit from behind, and down he goes. David Grant, number 98, was in on the quarterback and drops him back at the Raider 48.
The Bengals are giving us a number of fronts, different kinds of fronts, that really give problems. Now look at the outside people here coming hard, and inside the pass protection will hold up long enough, but the problem is Jay is taking too long to throw the ball. It's that simple. So they're going to have to be much more conservative in their pass protection scheme. That's twice now that Schroeder has been chased around or sacked.
The give is to Bo Jackson, so instead of a pass on second and long, they go to the run, and David Grant there again, the 278-pounder from West Virginia, and their top rookie linebacker, 50, James Francis, in on the play as well.
Grant's going to chase the ball from behind and catch it as these guards pull. This is the kind of thing where you need a better seal block by Rory Graves on the backside. You see Grant come right down the line of scrimmage. Now that's the job of Rory Graves, the left tackle, to get underneath Grant and get his legs out from under him. The Bengals are playing quick, and they're aggressive. Quick and aggressive. The Raiders just aren't ready for this.
On 3rd and 15, Schroeder gets out of the trap and then is tripped up from behind at the 44-yard line. Skip McClendon, number 72. He was a height at 6'7" and long arms, just able to reach in and get Schroeder from the backside.
You know, Marcus Allen, Dick, as we visited with him, said, you know, and he reminded me as a former coach, you never really know if you're ready to play. You have 2 weeks to practice. You concentrate. It can mean everything to your athletic career. Everything could be on the table, and you still can come out and be flat. And so far, the Raiders are flat.
Mitchell Price, who returned a punt 66 yards for a touchdown this year at Seattle, is the deep man. And Jeff Gossett, they run into Gossett, who comes up limping. It's a terrific-looking kick inside the 5 and down at the 3. Jeff Gossett pins the Bengals at their goal line. Timeout.
Here's another demonstration of Chevy versus Ford. We're loading up these full-size pickups with recyclables. The Chevy has a standard payload advantage of over 400 pounds.
That's a pile of payload the Ford leaves behind.
No wonder so many truck owners recycle their trucks for Chevys. More people are winning with
the heartbeat of America.
Now it's easy to win with the heartbeat.
Today, a guy losing his hair can choose between being the man he wants to be
We look great with hair. Do something to save it.
and the man he could become.
Can't you accept nature like everyone else?
Doctors have hair loss treatment programs that are proven to work, and the sooner you see a doctor, the better.
We don't want nature. We want hair.
When you've considered the arguments
We might look great bald.
and you decide you want hair, there's only one thing to do. See your doctor, or call this number for more information.
With real cola taste, just 1 calorie, and 100% NutraSweet, nothing says real refreshment quite like Diet Coke. Nothing.
Just for the taste of it, Diet Coke.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Geo. Get to know Geo. Available right around the corner at your Chevrolet Geo dealers.
Art Shell, voted the AFC Coach of the Year. The Hall of Famer told us earlier this week that he was concerned about the layoff because during the regular season, the bye occurred after a 6-1 Raiders start. They lost 3 of the next 4 after the bye week, and he tried to remind his team all week long, you've got to be more intense. You've got to raise the level of your play, because as a veteran of the playoffs, Shell himself knows that it is a different season.
Well, even the coaching, they had the 4th and 1 call. They had the pass early in the first quarter. A run in that situation certainly would have made the first down.
Well, the Bengals denied the fumble recovery, start at their own 3. It's James Brooks carrying that ball in the left hand where that dislocated open injury to the thumb occurred. Eddie Anderson makes the tackle after a gain of close to 5.
Here comes their sugar huddle, as they call it, where they set up just behind the line of scrimmage and get their play started very, very quickly. And hopefully the Raiders cannot substitute that much. Now, Max Montoya is on the Raider team as an offensive guard. He was with the Bengals. And Sam White was concerned that Max would give the signals, but I don't think there's much to that.
2nd down and 6. It's Brooks again, and the Raiders are ready for him. The yard maybe to Ricky Ellison, former 49er, in the thick of that tackle, along with Tom Benson.
Gee, this guy Brooks is some performer, though, isn't he, Dick? He is so tough. Is he a money ball player? Believe me, 185 pounds. All that stamina and longevity in the league. With that thumb, any ball carrier in the past, anybody's handled the ball in any sport can realize just when you operate really with one hand.
And he gets better as he gets older. He's in his 10th year. He had over 1,200 yards rushing last year, over 1,000 this. Boomer protected well. Has a man, Brooks, and he's got it. First down at the 31-yard line. Brooks, injury and all, makes a fine over-the-shoulder grab. Yardage to match his number 21.
That thumb is not even a problem with this guy. Boomer gets pretty decent pass protection. A perfect pass right over the shoulder. Now that really looks like that thumb is bothering him as he comes off the field a little bit. But did the Bengals save themselves there? At this point, it's a victory for them, a moral victory. They go an entire quarter, and they haven't lost field position at this point. This is where they got the ball at the start of the game.
Final seconds of the opening quarter. See if Boomer gets a play off. Down the middle he goes, and Holman is open. He's got it at the Raider 29-yard line, and that's how the first quarter comes to an end with Boomer Esiason throwing to Brooks and Holman, this one for 40 yards. And with it, Cincinnati, unless there's a penalty on the play, is deep in Raider territory.
Look at Holman run a seam pattern, and Benson trying to stay with him. Benson waited too long before he got into coverage, but what poise catching that ball.
No penalty. The Bengals will start at the 29 of L.A.
Wherever you do business, the future is approaching at breakneck speed. And the road your business travels is constantly changing. But you can take advantage of change with the world's most comprehensive computing and communication services from EDS. EDS can help you be more competitive by focusing technology on business goals, by creating ways to improve quality and save time, by making everything work together. We can even help you manage it. You can't control change, but you can take advantage of change with EDS.
Getting to know you.
Geostorm. Great way to get away. 16 valves. Hello, road. The turns. The hills. This is it.
Get to know Geostorm and tame Wild Road.
Now this could be contagious.
Catch one now at your Chevrolet Geo dealer.
Getting to know you.
former 49er coach Bill Walsh. This is Dick Enberg at the Coliseum in Los Angeles.
Don't speak to Michelle. This is Bob Costas in New York as the Bengals go back on the attack. This is James Brooks playing with a dislocated thumb and going off the left side for a relatively short pickup. As you realize, we've lost the audio temporarily. As soon as we can work that problem out, we'll go back to Dick Enberg and Bill Walsh at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Second quarter, no score. The Raiders had an opportunity early after they pinned the Bengals back near their own goal line following a couple of sacks on the Bengals' first possession, but the Raiders couldn't cash in. And so Art Shell's team, about a touchdown favorite.
Welcome back to the Coliseum in Los Angeles. We apologize for the audio difficulties, and we must also add that they were not inspired by the Nationals' Norman Shadd. We continue with the play-by-play. On third down, it is James Brooks to the 10-yard line, shy of a first down. So this drive for the Bengals, it began back at the Cincinnati 3-yard line, and sparked by Brooks' 21-yard catch and Holman's 40-yard reception, and 11-yard run by Ickey Woods has placed the Bengals within Jim Breach's field goal reach.
At this point in the game, the play calling by Sam Weitz and the execution of specialized plays for the Raiders has been beautiful. One of the problems will be those kinds of plays can't be used over and over. But the seam pass down the middle to Holman, beautifully executed. Brooks' run, the good run, perfectly executed play.
And a 27-yard field goal by Breach is good. Little Jim Breach, the 5'6", 12-year veteran from California, knocks home the first points of the game.
At Acura, we've discovered that when we go the extra mile, so do the people who drive our cars. The 1991 Acura Integra. Who guarantees overnight air delivery before 10:30 to the most people coast to coast? Who did you think?
In these uncertain times, the intelligent investor focuses on current trends, watches the economic indicators, analyzes the various business sectors, developing keen insights before making a single move on Wall Street. On the other hand, the extremely intelligent investor has someone else help him do it. Prudential-based securities, rock solid, market wise.
Who guarantees overnight air delivery before 10:30 to more businesses than anyone else in the business?
Who did you think? The nightmare that kept you awake as a kid is back.
Hope you like this freak palace.
Say goodbye to your pleasant dreams.
You're going to be quite surprised when you see this.
There's no one here.
There was.
A mystery as good as this happens only twice in a lifetime.
I have come home.
Dark Shadows tonight on NBC.
Fiery Sam Weiss, the head coach of the Bengals, the winningest coach now in Cincinnati history, with his victory last Sunday against Houston, now has 61 to pass the master himself, Paul Brown. 3-0 Bengals in the second quarter. 12 minutes to go before the half, and a long, high kick deep into the end zone to Ron Brown as Lee Johnson. That has been his strength all season long. 32 times in 60 kickoffs. Johnson has kicked it in the end zone.
A beautiful play. The Bengals will put a man in motion to the outside, and Eddie Anderson will drift over to account for that. Meanwhile, Harden, the safety, will come up in the zone defense, and then you'll see Holman splitting right down the seam and no one there to handle it. You'll see Benson try to stay with it, but you see number 33 to the far side of the field, beautifully executed. Sam Weiss controlled both safeties and got Holman on a linebacker.
And that 40-yard gain set up the Jim Breach field goal and a 3-0 Cincinnati lead. From the 20, Schroeder to Bowe. Breaks into the clear for a moment and picks up 9, and that had some of the crowd starting to raise out of the seats.
Kevin Walker had a tackle to make all by himself. If he doesn't make this tackle, nobody's going to. And you'll see Bowe coming with the right guard and right tackle pulling. Wright makes a beautiful block there, but you see the clean, sharp tackle by Kevin Walker that really saves another one of those 70 or 80-yard plays.
9 yards for Jackson, 2nd and 1. Bowe again. Breaking freely to the 37, 38, 9 more. Walker again, the tackler.
Well, this is the pattern we'll probably see all day, because the safety men and linebackers for the Bengals are going to have to make the stops. In this particular case, you're going to see Bowe break to the outside, and the tackle being made back here all the way through from the back side of it. But the problem is you see people blocked. You see that big hole coming, and it takes the backside man to finally stop it. And you'd hate to think of a linebacker away from the play having to make the stop.
25 yards on 4 carries for Jackson. Ball at the 38. Bowe again. 50. And chopped down at the Cincy 45 by Barney Bussey.
What can you say? Now, this is where the Raiders can start taking people apart. Watch this man's block as he comes through the line. Smith comes right through, cuts his man down. Again, it's Walker with all the action. But of all the people, Steve Smith, the fullback, you see both make these plays, and Marcus, Steve Smith's one of the people on the team everyone admires and follows, because his consistent performances have sprung these ball carriers.
The Royal Raider, Kansas City Royals, LA Raiders, Bo Jackson in his first professional playoff game. Now it's Marcus. All kinds of room to run. And Allen, the former Heisman winner here at Southern Cal, to the 25. So Bo goes 18, Bill, and now Allen answers with a 19-yard run.
Well, it indicates very obviously that the blocking is there for either guy. Some beautiful blocking. Steve Wright, Max Montoya do great jobs. Ethan Horton comes up the field and makes a stop. And, of course, Steve Smith again springs his ball carrier. Now, when you've got two premier running backs, everybody is just inspired to block for him. That's what you're seeing.
Allen stays in, first down at the Cincinnati 25. Fake to Allen. Schroeder lots of time. Caught at the 14-yard line by Mervyn Fernandez.
A great sequence for the Raiders if they can get into the end zone. Beautiful block runs. Now here's Fernandez. He's going to cross all the way to the other side of the field. And Phillips isn't quite able to stay with him. Meanwhile, there's been a play fake that's held the linebacker. So beautifully executed. Now this is the Raider team we expected to see. And now they're, I think, in sync, in gear, and ready to go.
8.5 minutes remaining, second quarter. Cincinnati's lead 3-0 in jeopardy. First down, Schroeder. To Galt, almost intercepted. Well played by Eric Thomas, number 22, who was not expected to even see duty this year after he had a serious knee injury playing basketball in the past offseason.
Thomas is in beautiful position inside. Now you'll see him reach right through for the ball. Beautifully done. He just cut Galt off from getting underneath him. Now watch this. Is he fired up? He knows that every one of those plays, Dick, is an accomplishment, let alone a winning game. But just to stop Galt in a situation like that.
Seventh play of this drive that started back at the Raider 20. Second down and 10. Schroeder changing his play. And the toss to Marcus. Reversing and somehow managing to gain a yard out of a play that should have lost about 5. Leon White, 51, finally tracked him down.
The entire defense was predicated on the run. They're just taking chances. Dick LeBeau, the defensive coordinator, called a defense to stop the run. Figuring they just thrown, they're going to come back with a run, and he did. Can you believe how miraculous Marcus is? He made 3 big linemen miss him to get back to the line of scrimmage. But the Bengals are gambling, either pass or run, and they're trying to just play the game from the standpoint of strategy. They're playing for a pass right here.
Tim Brown, the motion man. Schroeder guns to Fernandez. Touchdown. A 13-yard strike as Fernandez, using that big body, 6'3" and 200, shield the defender, Carl Carter, for the score.
Again, he's going to try to get inside a defender and cross just over the goal line. Now, the pass itself was a critical one because Schroeder really fired that ball in there.
Jaeger adds the extra point, an 80-yard drive and 8 well-executed plays.
Schroeder has got excellent protection. Watch him really fire that ball inside for the big play. Beautiful.
And it's 7-3 Los Angeles.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if you could just get away from it all right now and go fishing? Yeah, just you, a couple of friends, some fish, and a beautiful supply of beer, like Keystone, the premium cold-filtered beer in a can. It tastes like beer in a bottle because of Keystone's specially lined can. Yeah, wouldn't it be great if the only other person for miles around was the pizza delivery guy? Keystone and Keystone Light. Bottled beer taste in a can. Wouldn't that be great?
Recently, Acura introduced what many have called the greatest sports car the world has ever known. Our latest idea is somewhat bigger. The 1991 Acura Legend.
Flu season again. When the aches and pains, the fever and chills of the flu get you, it's important to know doctors are recommending Tylenol more than ever. 6 times more than aspirin for the flu. Doctors know there's more medicine in extra-strength Tylenol than regular aspirin. It's stronger relief for the aches and chills of the flu. Tylenol, the doctor's choice by 6 to 1, and the pain reliever hospitals use most.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Acura Automobiles. Experience precision-crafted performance. By Interstate Batteries, now #1 with over 180,000 dealers across the U.S. and Canada. By UPS, now offering 10:30 a.m. guaranteed overnight air delivery. And by cold-filtered Keystone and Keystone Light. Bottled beer taste in a can. Wouldn't that be great?
Very impressively take the lead 7-3. Short kick by Jaeger. It goes to Eric Ball, the former UCLA Bruin, and he's to the 27-yard line. Let's go back to the touchdown. Schroeder to Fernandez.
Now, this is why Fernandez is considered one of the great wide receivers. He's going to be double covered and make a move and beat both safety and corner, getting underneath Carter as he does it. He had two people bracketing him, and he beat both of them. And, of course, the throw was perfect, and Schroeder had all the time he wants. That, Dick, was the best drive I've seen the Raiders make all year. Beautifully executed, mixing run and pass.
Now the Bengals trailing 7-3, midpoint of the second period. Boomer trying to get the attention of Ball to move him over. Finally, Eric Ball hears him. Boomer, double pump to Eddie Brown, incomplete, out of bounds. And Boomer has his first incomplete pass, now 4 for 5 after he was sacked twice in the Bengals' first possession.
Brown was the alternate receiver. Boomer wanted to throw a pass in the flat, a sort of a screen pass with a tight end blocking, but instead he had to just get rid of the ball deep down the field.
James Brooks, a couple of big plays in this game, but that left thumb may be bothering him. We'll see if he returns. Down the middle, complete the short yardage to Eddie Brown, who fights to the 29. A tough 3-yard gain. Ricky Ellison, the tackler. Boomer Esiason. He did tell us that he felt this team was playing better now than at the same time in their '88 Super Bowl year.
Well, in a sense, it's going to be just sort of a hollow bravado, because that other team was stronger than this one, primarily because of the injuries. But Boomer came in loose, he came in confident, and at this point he's playing beautiful.
Third down, a short 7. Incomplete, and almost ricocheting to Eddie Anderson, number 33, as Tom Benson made the defensive play. Holman the target.
So far, the problem has not been Kick Stratford at left tackle, because he's been blocking Scott Davis very effectively as a pass protector. Doing very, very well. The problem right now is downfield, but you'll see Holman cutting down Townsend and then getting up as an outlet receiver. So the scheme is excellent by the Bengals. It's just a matter of firepower.
Well, Tom Benson did a great job of reading that play. Lee Johnson hits a beautiful spiral, driving Brown back to the 10-yard line. And Brown doing a good job of weaving between 3 Bengals to the 25. A 15-yard return. Timeout with 6:10 left in the half.
The engineers at Acura have made a remarkable discovery. A truly extraordinary car is like a truly extraordinary journey. To achieve it, you have to get off the beaten path. The 1991 Acura Integra.
Good food is a way of life. We make it every day. We serve it up at McDonald's, but we have help along the way. So thanks to the man, thanks to the woman who make the plow and work the land. The butcher, the baker, and the long haul maker. Thanks to the woman, thanks to the man. Permit me to include everyone who helps us make good food. So thanks to the man, thanks to the woman who take the plow and work the land. The butcher, the baker, and the long haul maker. Thanks to the woman. Good food. Thank you to the man. McDonald's, good food, awesome fun.
It's the day after Tuesday. The day before Thursday. Night Court moves back to Wednesday, NBC, 9 o'clock, 8 Central. Then an all-new Seinfeld is back.
I can't be with someone if I don't respect what they do. You're a cashier.
The critics call it a winner. Seinfeld on NBC Wednesday.
Lee Johnson, his long left leg, producing a 64-yarder that last punt. He had the two longest punts of this NFL season, 70 yards. An 18-yard official return by Tim Brown, and Schroeder sets up camp for the Raiders at the 25. Leading 7-3, the toss to Marcus Allen. And a gain of almost 4. Barney Bussey up from a safety spot to make the hit.
For the viewer to watch, as you see the Raiders run the ball, note that the defensive linemen of the Bengals are getting pushed around and knocked back sideways. There are all kind of holes that are quickly filled.
Look, no huddle by Schroeder and the Raiders. A little turnabout is fair play against the Bengals. And 2nd and 6. Allen. Skip McClendon got him from the backside, number 72. A gain of about 1.5 yards. There's Terry Rubisky to the right of Art Shell. He's the offensive coordinator, calls in the plays, fine chess player, even trying to teach, well, his pupil of the year is Marcus Allen. What did he say? How long does it take to beat Marcus at this point?
10 to 15 minutes.
So Marcus is learning.
His usual match takes up to 2 hours, you know. Relax playing. Marcus comes in and leaves the room very quickly.
But learning. He bought a $700 computer chess game just so he could become better. He shows his competitive spirit in all aspects. Schroeder drills the ball to Tim Brown, and a first down at the 42.
This isn't overstated, but both teams are executing right up to their max potential. The Bengals playing well. Now watch Brown make a nice out move, and the ball is the critical factor here because Thomas really couldn't cover that quick out, but the throw was right on the money. Both teams are playing right up to their potential at this point in the game. Bengals playing as well as they can play and executing as well as they can, and the same with the Raiders. Now at some point you would have to almost assume the Raiders are going to finally overpower the Bengals, but at this point both teams are at their best.
Again, no huddle, and it's Marcus Allen through a big hole all the way to the Cincinnati 42 before Bussey, the last Bengal left, can make the hit.
Well, leave it up to Max Montoya. He pulled and he trapped. He and Steve Wright pulled from the right side of the line and did a beautiful job of trapping to the outside. Very well executed. And here's a guy, Max Montoya, who played for the Bengals for years, was on their Super Bowl teams, and now released in a sense by the Bengals through Plan B and playing beautifully.
You know, the Bengals could use him now with all the injuries in their front wall. And a no huddle and
no pass rush.
And Mike Dial, who has been inactive for a couple of months, unable to pull that one in as he was hit by Carl Zander.
Gee, the room that Schroeder had there, he had 5 yards of clearance. So he just sat there and threw the ball, and fortunately the pass was broken up. As Montoya has played very, very good football. Now watch, he'll pull and trap to the outside, and Wright will pull right in behind him, and a beautiful hole will open up to the inside. Here's Montoya. Excellent trap blocks right up the field. The problem with the Bengals, as we probably keep pointing out, they just can't stand up to the physical part of the game.
Allen again. Oh, just as daylight appeared for Allen, there to make a saving tackle was Zander, with Barney Bussey supporting from the safety spot.
Well, you'll see holes open up, Dick, all day by the Raider offensive line. It'll look as though the ball carrier is going all the way, and then finally a linebacker will shoot right in and make a stop. The problem with that is that at some point the linebackers won't be there through fatigue. But look at the difference here. What was that?
109 yards rushing,
wow.
And Marcus has 61 of them. Marcus has been a big-time playoff runner, 5.8-yard average prior to this game in playoff duty. On 3rd down and long, Schroeder goes long. Galt double teamed, and the ball just missed his grasp as Eric Thomas, 22, with help on the backside from Carl Carter.
It's a beautiful, beautiful throw by Schroeder. It missed by a yard or so, but it was a most difficult throw right up over the top and to the outside. Schroeder has really improved as a football player because what he's getting done are the plays downfield that Al Davis has based the entire offense for the Raiders on.
On fourth down, it's Gossett to punt with Mitchell Price, number 32, back at the 10-yard line for Cincinnati. For the far sidelines, and it's a decent kick that'll be spotted at about the 12-yard line. Timeout with 2:29 remaining for Al Davis and 90,000 in L.A.
In the past 3 years, Mitsubishi Cars and Trucks have won 31 major awards for automotive excellence. One car has won the same award 3 times. The Mitsubishi Eclipse Turbo, the first sports coupe ever to be named to Car and Driver's 10 Best list 3 years in a row. Mitsubishi, the word is getting around.
I got a phone call this morning from one of our oldest customers. He fired us. After 20 years, he fired us. Said he didn't know us anymore. I think I know why. We used to do business with a handshake, face to face. Now it's a phone call and a fax. Get back to you later. With another fax, probably. Well, folks, something's got to change. That's why we're going to set out for a little face-to-face chat with every customer we have.
But Ben, that's got to be over 200 cities.
I don't care. Thanks.
If you're the kind of business that still believes personal service deserves a lot more than lip service, welcome to United.
Larry. Lewis.
That's the way we've been doing business for over 60 years.
Ben, where are you going? To visit that old friend who fired us this morning.
United. Come fly the friendly skies.
You may have noticed James Brooks wasn't in the last series. He's fighting more than just a dislocated thumb. James Brooks has a touch of the flu. So expect to see him going in and out of the game today. It's pretty hot out here, but he's in there now. I guess he's going to do the best job he can. He's a pretty tough kid.
Okay, O.J. A man who felt very comfortable on this turf, O.J. Simpson, won his Heisman Award playing for the Trojans of Southern California on this Coliseum home field. He made a few defenses sick. Cincinnati trails 7-3, 2:29 left, first half. Esiason at the Bengal 13. Woods to the 31-yard line. So Woods finds a good hole off that left side as Grafford and Moyer, Kozerski do a fine job. 19-yard gain.
Now that is confidence going in behind those two free agent left guard and left tackle. Do a nice job of sustaining their blocks. Now the one thing about this Grafford, he is quick. He's got good feet. He doesn't have the bulk, but he can move and sustain a block.
And you see Anthony Munoz there, number 78, rooting for his replacement. 2-minute timeout.
Working to be the best they can be. Teammates, sponsored by the U.S. Army. In the 1971 AFC Divisional Playoffs, the Miami Dolphins defeated the Kansas City Chiefs in the longest pro football game ever played. Although the Dolphins eventually lost in the Super Bowl, to a man, they believed that their victory over the Chiefs almost 23 minutes into overtime was the springboard to their 17-0 record the next year. A perfect season that made the Miami Dolphins the best they can be.
When the team leader puts you in charge for the first time, that's when you find out how good you really are.
Second half quarterback.
That was a stellar performance.
15 pieces of chicken or a supersized bucket of hot wings, just $9.99 each.
Anytime you're ready, gentlemen.
Super buckets from KFC.
Come on, Dad.
How much insulation do you have in your attic? 3 inches? 6 inches? Well, the Department of Energy recommends R38 for most American homes, which is equivalent to a foot of Owens Corning pink fiberglass. So grab a ruler and measure your attic insulation. Then get rolling. Because 12 inches of pink fiberglass can help you get a foothold on your energy bills.
On the last play, we saw something that you'd never expect. Ken Moyer is blocking Davis very, very well. You'll see Scrafford come off and make a block, and a nice block here, but then the ball will break up the field. Now, two free agents that have not... There he goes to the outside, and you'll see Moyer really wall off Davis and stay with that block and just break it to the outside.
And Ickey Woods picking up 18 yards, giving the Bengals some field position. And now where Whites may have been feeling, let's get out of here, 7-3 at the half. Now with 2 full minutes remaining and his timeouts might go for something. They try the same play with Woods gaining 3 before Greg Townsend, 93, can make the hit along with Bob Golick.
Well, it's an inspired Bengal team. They're just running off those free agents on the left side. You'd think they'd stay totally away from it, but Moyer and Kozerski and Scrafford are doing a fine job.
They give Woods 4 yards. They're also playing without that man, Bruce Reimers, 300-pound guard. So Munoz and Reimers, 2 heavyweights and bulkheads of that offensive wall for Cincinnati, not playing today. Munoz is in uniform, could be used in an emergency. On 2nd and 6, it's Brooks. And those quick feet carry him to the 39-yard line. Scott Davis, big number 70 from Illinois, tripped him up. He's had an excellent year. 10 sacks for Davis, who is a real force, 6'7" and 280.
I think Sam White is going to try to control the ball down under a minute, then start throwing, but he doesn't want the Raiders to get it back in this half. He knows he has bad field position, so at this point, they'll, in every likelihood, begin to throw the football, but they don't want the Raiders to get it back.
They get a first down here, then they might try some passing, but he's certainly conservative, unlike Weiss, playing it close. 7-3 is okay with him at this point. There's Brooks, tripped up close to a first down across the 40-yard line.
You'd assume the Raiders are going to stop the clock here themselves, and they're not going to do it.
Now the officials are going to stop it for a measurement.
It looks as though Brooks was down. But White's just going to be satisfied 7-3 because he's in the ball game.
Something else quite unusual, and I suppose when you get to the playoffs, you expect the officials to swallow the whistle, but only 1 penalty this entire first half, a 5-yarder against the Bengals. It is shy of a first down. So on 4th down, the Bengals will apparently punt. They're not going to call time, and he wants them to start the clock again as soon as they mark the ball. No one has called timeout as yet.
You think the Raiders are going to have to get a timeout just to try to block the punt.
If no timeout is called, Cincinnati doesn't even have to punt the ball. Now they mark it, and the clock begins.
Well, Boomer may just be willing to take too much time right at the line of scrimmage. The Raiders aren't going to stop the clock.
They don't have to run a play, and this is all theater now. Boomer center stage. Play clock on the left, so you see he does not have to run a play and will not. So
that's surprising that the tactics wouldn't be a little better than that. Why not try to block the punt? Why not try to get Brown on a big return?
Obviously, Sam White had worked just the way he had planned. He leaves the field at halftime, an underdog, but very much in the game. 7-3 Raiders. Will have Bob Costas, NFL Live, when we return.
Why is Coors Light the official beer of the 90s? Let's count the reasons. 1, Silver Bullet is the beer that won't slow you down. 2, it's brewed with pure Rocky Mountain spring water. 3, it's got a neat silver can. 4 and 5, Coors Light is available in all 49 states and Canada. And 6, it tastes good. Let's keep all 6 reasons in mind the next time you want a beer. Thank you.
In the past 3 years, Mitsubishi Cars and Trucks have won 31 major awards for automotive excellence. And now, for the second year in a row, a Mitsubishi Galant is Motor Trend's selection as the top buy among all imported sports sedans. Mitsubishi, the word is getting around.
Dean Witter believed in listening.
Listen, not only to what our clients say, but what they mean. Each client has a level of comfort. Endeavor to find it. We measure success one investor at a time.
If you've ever been stranded, you ought to get this Interstate X2 booster. It's actually 2 batteries in one. So, when you run down your main battery, the extra booster battery starts your car. Interstate X2 booster. Best idea since a spare tire.
NBC sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Mitsubishi, bringing you a full line of award-winning automobiles. Mitsubishi, the word is getting around.
Okay, the Bengals, despite all the adversity, keep it close. Raiders 7, Cincinnati 3 at halftime. Coming up now on NFL Live, we'll talk with Jim Kelly from